Hello everybody, welcome to the channel, and in today's video we are going to see if we can get the Grand Wagoneer to start. It is very windy today, so bear with me. This hopefully is going to be a relatively short video. We just need to replace some wiring. We had a small engine fire, but I think once that wire is replaced, this thing should fire right up. So I'm going to start tearing into it and see what needs replaced. So this is where the fire started. As you can see, that wire is yeah, it's no good. I'm gonna find out how far it goes, and it looks like it initially started here at the solenoid, which I've had plenty of issues with this solenoid. It's a brand new one. Actually, the day that I finally got this Jeep, I had my buddy Devin with the Junkyard Drifter drive this home for me, and the solenoid gave us problems all the way home, and he actually fixed it with like a bobby pin. It was pretty impressive. I would have never thought of it, but it made it home, and that was kind of the end of its life. So now I just want to see if I can temporarily get this thing running again. I have my doubts, but we're gonna give it a shot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start cutting back all this, rat's nest of wiring, and just seeing what's damaged, what needs replaced, and we'll go from there. So I was able to peel back a lot of that electrical tape, and it looks like right there is probably the end of the damage. So I'm gonna try to cut that wire back some and put a new piece in, and yeah, hope for the best. Now I'm hoping it's nothing further back. I just am not seeing anything. I don't know, maybe a fusible link caused this. But I think what had happened was, it looks like this wire was spliced at some point, and this has to be like a thinner gauge. But again, I'm not sure. So I'm gonna try to replace that wire, and we'll see if this thing fires up. Again, I have my doubts, and my luck, it's probably gonna catch on fire again. I mean, we're gonna go through and fix everything, either engine swap or whatever we're gonna do, but I'd like to get it running so I can move it instead of have to push it to and from where it's gonna go. So we'll see what happens. Now that I'm looking at it in a little more depth, there's a lot more, there are many more wires that are damaged. This one's kind of concerning because it looks like it's got a little yellow wire that goes into this green wire, so that kind of sucks. I don't know, this thing might not run. So I'm not 100% sure, but I pulled this off the solenoid, and it looks like this is where it was shorting out, and that's where it started the fire, or grounding out, I don't really know. So yeah, we're just gonna replace it and send it and hope for the best, because the wire is only damaged from here to that point. So that leads me to believe it started at the solenoid versus somewhere else. I was able to get in there and strip back this wire, and it looks pretty good, to be honest. I don't think there's any damage past that, so I'm still willing to gamble and take the risk to just replace it. All right, so I pulled a new piece of wire, or a used piece of wire, off of another car, and we're gonna splice it in there, and we'll hope for the best. I mean, it's just kind of jerry-rigged for now, but I mean, look at that mess. It's jerry-rigged. When we start building this, we will fix all that, because I want this to be somewhat reliable. So it is getting dark on me, so I'm gonna resume this tomorrow, or the next day, but we're pretty much set up. I just have to get a nice connector and some heat shrink or something just to protect it a little bit. And after that's spliced in, pop a battery in here, and hopefully it'll fire up. So I will get back on this soon, but for you guys, it'll be like that. All right, it's a new day. Now we're one step closer to getting this thing fired up. So I was able to get some electrical connectors. Now I'm just going to I'll put a little electrical tape around them, get it bolted back in, put a battery in, and yeah, we're gonna see if it catches on fire or not. I'm a little worried that if it does catch on fire, I'm not gonna catch it in time because I don't have somebody watching, but you guys will be watching, so you can try to tell me, but it'll be too late if it starts burning down. But we will have a fire extinguisher. So let's get this wrapped up. So we got it patched up. We got it hooked to the solenoid. Now I'm gonna throw a battery in here, and then we will turn the key and see if it catches on fire. I'm not gonna try to start it until I know that it's somewhat safe. This stuff is gonna need replaced at some point. I mean, you can tell there's a nice fire there. That's a freaking rat's nest. But I just want to see if that was the problem. And if we decide to keep this engine, I'm gonna fix all that wiring and fix the alternator wiring, because that's the freaking nightmare. So let's throw a battery in and we'll hope for the best. Man, if somebody could leave me a link to some good battery terminals, because man, I have bad luck with these freaking things. All right, battery's hooked up. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna turn the key. So I need you guys to tell me if that wire right there catches on fire. And if it does, yell for me so I can come extinguish it. But before we try that, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like on this if you think it's gonna run. Well, there's no fire, and it's not hot. Let me put it over into run. All right, still no fire. Good sign. Battery is kind of dead, so I'm gonna grab my pickup. We're gonna jump this thing, and so yeah, hopefully not catch both trucks on fire. All right, so I got the Dodge over here. We're gonna jump this thing. Fire extinguisher is locked and loaded. Yeah, hopefully we don't catch Clyde, the Wagoneer, in my truck, in the structure, in my quad, and all that good stuff on fire. So yeah, you guys better scream if this thing goes up in flames, because we got a lot of stuff we gotta save. I'm gonna hide you guys back here so you don't catch on fire too. It's gonna be hard to see, but if you see smoke, you let me know. So we got to turn over without a fire. That's a good sign. I'm gonna go ahead and let it charge for a few minutes, and then we will resume. Of course, now it's gonna start raining. Let's give her a shot. Close, but no cigar. All right, try number 3. So it's turning over really slow. So I'm going to, I don't know, give it 10 more minutes, 15 minutes of charge time. It's weird because that battery wasn't even all the way dead. I mean, maybe it is, but I'm not sure. So let's let it charge for a little bit. We'll give it another shot. At this point, I think it's gonna start. This thing is it is not happy when you try to cold start it. It is the most difficult thing in the world, probably. And I don't know why. The choke, everything works, but I think it's just a valve problem, maybe. But yeah, we're gonna wing it. No fires, so it's gotta be close. These dogs, they just love watching me. If you don't know, this is Scout, and that's Riley. Oh, Scout really loves the attention. So in the next video, we're gonna be addressing this rat's nest. I'm gonna be completely rewiring pretty much this whole entire tracker. I mean, not the whole thing, but I couldn't sleep last night, and I kept thinking, you know, half of these wires actually aren't hooked up to anything. So I'm gonna start pulling them away, and change this thing all up and make it actually reliable. So that's going to be in the next video. I think also what I'm going to attempt to do is I'm going to try to wire these brake lights here, or tail lights, into the existing tail light wiring to, you know, hopefully have, you know, the brake pedal actuate them. I'm not entirely sure if that's going to work out, but I'm going to at least try it. And that's, I mean, for the meantime, that'll be great for the people behind me so they don't smash into me or anything.
All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. Not happening.
So at this point, I'm learning that it's taking a long time for the fuel to get to the carburetor. So maybe that's where my fuel issue, or well, cold start issue has been. Maybe the fuel pump's not giving it the right amount of fuel pressure. I really don't know. I've never noticed a fuel problem before, but maybe it is just a fuel issue after all, and this motor runs fine. But I'm gonna keep trying. Maybe put some gas down the carburetor, but I don't want to blow it up either. I've had some bad experiences with that, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, so I poured a little fuel down the carburetor, and see, well, it did fire right up. That's not happening, but I'm thinking there's an actual fuel issue now. I would have never suspected that because everything seemed fine. So we'll try again. Okay, so here's the deal. It'll run until the fuel in the carburetor runs out. So I definitely have a fuel issue. So I guess that's kind of good news. So now I know what primarily the issue is. I'm gonna make sure it's not out of gas. The fuel gauge doesn't work, but yeah, we're gonna find out. All right, so wiring is fixed and it does run. I answered that question. Will we get it running? Yes, it runs, but it's not getting any fuel. So that leads me to believe a bad fuel pump, because right here, I took this line off and there's barely any fuel coming out. It's just barely spitting out. Or the float bowl and stuff in the carburetor, it's not getting full, it's not working. But I just rebuilt it and everything was fine. So I don't know, I really do believe it's a fuel pump now, because at first I thought, oh, it's a valve issue, because when I'd get on it, it would just bog down. But now I really think it's just not getting fuel, but I don't know. So hopefully the next time you see this, we'll be fixing that problem and it'll run. So that'll be good. And if this motor actually ends up running good, we'll probably end up keeping it, just do some modifications to it. And yeah, it's got a lot of leaks, so we gotta fix that. Now, one question for any Wagoneer people out there. This is 86. Is there an in-tank fuel pump as well? Or is it just the mechanical pump on the block? I don't know, I've been trying to research it. I can't really find much about it. So if you know, let me know. And you know, that might be the problem too. So yeah, well, we got it running. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're gonna be building this Grand Wagoneer here really soon, as long as we can get it running.